Now we're going to have a look at macronutrients and how we can utilize them for overall performance with our training and out in the mountains. So we've got 3 macronutrients. We've got our carbohydrates, our protein, and our fats. Carbs are our body's preferred source of energy and can be stored in the body to be utilized later. Protein is there to help rebuild and build new muscle tissue, so repair and build. And then we've got fat, which is basically immune system and overall hormone regulation, so immune health. Okay, those are the 3 macronutrients that we're going to be consuming. So let's just take a scenario of a basic 45-minute strength and conditioning session. Okay, it's not overly intense, and we're going to be training for around about 45 minutes overall. What we need to do is make sure that we've got enough carbohydrates stored in our body to be able to utilize them for that session. So by consuming carbohydrates prior to that session, we're going to fill our glycogen stores, which is basically stored carbohydrates ready to be used later, and we're going to be ready to nail that session because our glycogen stores are going to be full. So consuming carbohydrates prior to the session is going to be very useful, and we're going to go into the difference between what carbohydrates should be consumed at what time in later videos. But first of all, carbs before your session, super important. Now the session is about 45 minutes long, and because it's only 45 minutes long, the carbohydrates that are already in our body and stored should get us through that session, and we shouldn't completely deplete them before the end of the session. So those carbohydrates that are stored there are going to be utilized through this session, and at the end of the session we're going to have damaged muscle tissue that needs repairing, and we're going to have carbohydrates stores that are basically depleted, so we need to refill those. So post training, what do we want? We want protein to rebuild our muscle tissue and repair it, and we want carbohydrates to replenish our glycogen stores. They are the 2 macronutrients that we're going to want to consume afterwards. And then later on throughout the day, obviously we're going to want to consume enough fats as well, which want to make up at least 20% of our overall daily calories. So that's the basics of how we consume macronutrients around a 45-minute session.